We are joined by Dr. Alex Coman, the economy expert that we often turn to in these matters, from Tel Aviv University in studio. Thank you very much, Alex, for joining us. Let's put the big question out of the way first. Are we looking at another 2008 collapse?
No, nothing as dramatic as that. We're looking at a bank which, first of all, the bank has more assets than debt. So this is good news. So it's more of a problem of liquidity. Imagine that the bank is used to a certain pace by which clients withdraw money. And so it uses their deposits to invest, for instance, in oil companies or whatever. So this is not liquid money. If you bought, say, part of an airliner, you cannot sell it right away. What happened is that because of rising interest rates, suddenly these startups started pulling money much faster than was anticipated, and they could not liquidate or make their assets liquid as fast as required. And so as a result, they went under. They had $1 billion overdraft.
And this, while it's not the same situation, does underscore a massive issue we've seen in the tech sector lately, in that they're undergoing an economic collapse of sort. And this has ride-on effects for the economy as a whole, particularly here in Israel.
Well, yeah, especially it's a domino effect. The thing that happens in the States is that interest rates were very low and inflation started taking off, and so the central bank started raising interest rates in the States. When interest rates were low, it was very advantageous to invest in the high-tech sector because it provided nice returns. When interest rates go up, people are more reluctant to invest, or even they would. So let's assume that I committed $10 million to invest in your company, I transferred $3 million, and I'm not responding your phone calls. So suddenly you're in difficulty, and so you have to turn to the bank and withdraw the money from them. So the panic grows. And then Peter Thiel, who's this big Silicon Valley guru, said that he's concerned about the bank's health. And so everybody rushed in and to pull the money out. The Israeli companies were lucky to withdraw $1 billion, to rescue $1 billion in time.
And they're talking about freezing the banks so that people can't pull their money out, and this is of itself going to have ride-on effects on the economy as a whole. Is this going to be restricted to Silicon Valley and tech, or is this going to spill over into general life everywhere else?
It is. Well, first of all, it has to. It's a problem, but it's going to spill. I mean, if you're thinking about Israel, for instance, much of what happens in Israel's real estate market, particularly the prime part of the real estate market, is dictated by the high-tech sector, because people in the high-tech sector make a lot of money, whether they do an exit or whatever. So since the rug is pulled under their feet and suddenly money is much more scarce, I know people who made a lot of money and now they're unemployed, for instance. Suddenly this means that the real estate market is going to slow down. All the luxury products that these people, that high-tech people used to buy, are going to be to hurt.
And I guess one of the next big questions we have to look at is, looking at this crisis, well, we did mention it's not the same as 08, and we're going to have to keep mentioning that. This was not caused by the bank's policies. This was caused by the Federal Reserve raising interest rates. If that's the case, the government bought it, broke it, now they have to buy it?
First of all, it's a combination. It's not that the bank is not responsible. The bank is responsible for its liquidity, and I've been monitoring their presentations for analysts. And in those presentations, they stress time and time again how liquid they are and how familiar they are with their customers. This was not the reality. In reality, they were not as liquid, they were not as aware or as sensitive to the impact of interest rates on their market. So it's a shared responsibility. It's not that the bank is completely immune.
So thanks for helping us understand what the crisis is and, more importantly, what it's not, Alex.